Hi guys, Ronda Winstead here, aka Ronda without an H. Okay, so a couple of videos ago I asked your opinion on what you wanted me to do next, and the majority of you said the neutral envelopes, and so that's what we're going to start with, and the next video will be on the envelope art. So okay, and in between those, I'm working on a missionary journal for my granddaughter, so those may be thrown in there as well. And I'm going to apologize ahead of time. As I published my another video on my granddaughters, I forgot to turn it right side up, so the whole video is upside down, and I apologize for that. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna blame it on cancer brain. Okay, so these are the envelopes, and I think they are just adorable. I absolutely love them. I chose to do mine on a foreign language. This, I believe, is Japanese, but I don't know for sure. But you could do it on, you know, whatever paper, book paper that you would like to try. This, I also tried one on a recipe from a cookbook, and I was really careful about removing it so I could keep these. I thought this was adorable there. And this is a natural stain from the cookbook itself. And then I did spritz it with some coffee dye, just to add it a little more vintage. So the supplies that you're going to need for this project, guys, will be your book page or pages. These, let's see, I'll measure, and you know, it doesn't have to be exact. Yours can be whatever. This is like 8 and 1/8 kind of, by almost 6, 5 3/4, but you just kind of go by your book page. And this is what the book page, when I took them out, ripped them out, they were glued in, and so I could rip them out. This is the size of the page that I was working with. One of the things, now it might drive someone crazy from Japan if this is the language that you're normally used to seeing, and you're used to seeing it this way, and then you see the envelopes that I'm making and you're viewing them this way, kind of the same as me, you know, with my cheese bread squares that, you know, it reads this way, but it's just kind of fun to try some different things. So pick your book page, pick those out, and if you want to coffee dye them, go ahead and coffee dye whatever you want to do that way. Tea dye. Yeah. So you'll need the pages and fix those the way you want. Then you're going to need some things for our little clusters. And I just picked, in my scraps, I just picked a bunch of different neutrals that I might use. I have got some letters that I've made copies of. I've just got a variety, you know, of things that we can use. So go ahead and pick you a bunch of those, to have those ready to go. And then you'll also want some fabric as a background. You can see where we've added this to the cluster. You want it to be kind of raggedy, I want to say. A cheesecloth, that works great. I'm almost finished with this piece, and I'll have to dye me some more and get it ready. But so I've got a couple of those ready to go. So pick your fabric And then she said, you will want to have your little focal point. Mine have been created with washi tapes that I have put on and then cut around and put on the back of other pages. And I have prepared, it's been some time ago, and I just prepared, I spent a day and just took a lot of my washi tapes and did that. So I've got a whole bunch to work from here that I can use, but I will also show you how to do that. And I'm going to use this particular washi for this one, just to show you. I bought these on Amazon, and you just have to go in washi tapes or stamp washi tape or something like that. Look on there. And this one is perfumes, and I thought it had the nice color, so we'll go ahead and get started on that in just a minute. And glue. I'm using a dry glue, a stick glue. You can use whatever you want. If you use your wet glues, it's going to be a little more wrinkly, but that is up to you, and you'll need, of course, scissors and, things to cut with. Oh, I think that's it. So, everybody get your supplies. We'll get started. And I just want to say hello, and I really do hope you're having a fabulous day. I hope the sun is shining and that you're able to do some things that you love and that you're able to, do for others as well and bring joy into others' lives as well. I'm very grateful today. I had a treatment yesterday and it went well, and I have a little more energy, so yeah, I'm good to go. All right, so let's get started. I am going to just cut that, and I want this to show as the color, and I just got a scrap of paper, nothing earth-shattering here. I'm cutting it, and I suppose I could have left a little bit more of an edge there. You just kind of do that, however you feel. And of course, and I did forget to tell you to get your stamp pad so that you can burnish the edges, Okay, so see how easy that is. All right. So then I've got this old book page here. So let's and for this, I'm actually going to use my art glitter glue because it's a little heavier, and I want to make sure that it stays down secure. Secure? I don't know. Alrighty. So we will just put that like so. You guys, I have to tell you, well, I don't have to tell you, but I want to tell you, I'm really liking this little bottle. It's come with my art glitter glue, and I've always just used, the one here, and it's worked fine, but this gets clogged more easily. I have less clogs with this. I don't know what the deal is, but this fits on very securely, and I really like mine. I don't know. Anyway, just a tip there. Okay, Now, to get the look of the stamp, I'm going to do my little curvy cutter. And if you have the cheap little scissors that we all get, that we get frustrated with because they don't cut very well, but we don't have good alternatives, I'm going to use this for my wave. Okay. Yeah, I didn't do that very straight. Let's see if we can. It's just perfectionist. Life is hard on us, you guys. Because I absolutely know, and I look at myself and I'm like, you know, the older I get, the more I realize that I don't know anything. So, anyway. Just silly stuff. Okay. And here again, we will go ahead and edge that. And then it will be ready. As you can see, we have a fun focal point to put on there. Okay. And if you're doing those, if you're going to do a bunch of these, you might just, you know, spend a little bit of time and make up a whole bunch. And then when you get ready to do the envelopes and that type of thing, you can make several of them and then put them together, do it in stages, and it will probably go much faster for you. Okay, so now we want to work on the folding, and this is just basic stuff. I'm sure you guys have already done it. What I am doing here is just basically cutting my fold lines, or creating my fold lines, and then I've highlighted that with my ink there. Okay, so do I care which is the inside? And this has a little less, so I think that'll be the inside. So all I'm doing is I'm kind of coming in where I think is a little bit over the middle. And I can kind of, you know, I can sort of slide it a little bit. So let's do that. And I want, because I want to give plenty of space for the width of the pocket. So I think we'll go right here. And then I want to come in and go over about 1/4 of an inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch in on this side, and fold. And I want to try to fold it straight. So there we have the first 2 folds. Super simple. And you decide which is going to be your top and which is going to be your bottom. I have a little bit of an edge where I tore this, and so I'm using this part as the bottom, and I'm just bringing that up maybe 1/2 inch or so, folding it straight across, and I'm burnishing it with my bone folder so that it makes a nice crease, and these will be the lines that I cut. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and fold down our flap for the top. And I really like this where it's got this edge, this space on the side, which makes it possible for the flap to not have anything there. Okay? Are you with me? Okay. So now what I'm going to do is cut along, and actually I'm not cutting exactly, I'm going down just a little bit, and explain that in just a minute. But I am going to cut straight for that one, for the flap, and straight down for the flap. And then I'm going to come down on this one as well, a little bit. Now what that does, can you see that? It brings that down just a little bit so that it won't interfere with the flap, with the flap opening and closing. Okay? So now what I want to do is, while I've got this folded like so, I am going to trim both sides a little bit. You can use, you can use your little corner cutters and stuff too, if you want to. Okay, now I'm just going to repeat for the bottom here. Super simple again. And for this one, I'm just going to come in just a little bit, angle that so it looks kind of neat. And this isn't, absolutely, this isn't perfect. No perfection going on here. Okay, now if you want to edge all of it, then this would be the time that you want to do that. I'm using, what am I using? Vintage Photo. That's kind of my go-to. And it depends on what you're doing. You can see here, I have edged the inside of the flap because that'll come up. But I haven't on this part because I'm decorating this as a front. So if I were, say I were putting this in a journal, would I put this, how would I do this? I would attach it maybe with a clip, a hidden paper clip maybe, to the top of a page or the side of a page, or I would glue this down. But if I did that, see, I don't know that I would want to do it that way. If I were going to glue it into my journal, I might want to highlight and do my little cluster on this side so that the flap is up, and I may even want to take a little bit more of a space here so you can put a card, a tag or a journal card or something of that nature on this side. And then, of course, I would edge it that way. I think these would make great, I love this for Happy Mail, for little gifties, things you can put in. You could put gift cards in here. You could put a fun little letter. Just something that's kind of special. Then you can tie it. You fill it with something fun, and then you tie some pretty ribbon or string, and have this as just a sweet little package for somebody. Anyway, okay. Where was I? Okay, so this would be the point where we are doing the distressing, and that's up to you. I'm not going to do that because you all know about that. Okay, so then when you have it the way you want, then you decide which flap is going to show on the outside. And I think I like this better because it's, I don't know, I just like it better. I don't know. Don't ask me these things, I can't tell you. I don't know what to say, my friends. Okay. So, I got that. What did I need to get a new, I usually keep a washcloth, and I just put mine in the hamper because it was getting kind of grungy, and I forgot to get a new one out. So I'll just use that napkin for a minute. Okay, so our little pocket is created. They're so fun. They're so easy. They go together so quickly, you guys. And you could have one like this. You could have it as a template if you wanted to cut others out, if you didn't want to do the fold and cut kind of thing, which would be perfectly fine. And like I said, try some different papers. You know, see what it would look like. I have to show you my well, it's not my only boo-boo today, but it's one of many. So I was getting the brilliant idea that because this is a page where it's flipped on the side, and I thought, well, I'll just put one that's right side up. I'll go this way, and we'll see what that looks like. And this was kind of cool. You could see where this is the extra page that I cut, and I even covered the top and the bottom flap. But looky, totally upside down. Hello. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, play with it till you get what you like, guys. All right, now let's go on to the decorating. Yay! Okay, so as I see from previous ones, I was having kind of fun with some different text of a language that I'm not familiar with at all. And so I have like 3 elements and then my focal point. And if you want to get technical, it could be 5 because the focal point is also on another page. So 5 elements. But you do whatever, you know, there is no like right way or wrong way. Okay, so let's just let's pull some stuff out and see what might be kind of fun. Okay. And these letters, by the way, that I have gotten into and that I'm absolutely loving are letters from my history, my parents' history during World War II, letters of love and sorrow and just everyday kinds of stuff that goes on. And I copied some of them onto tracing paper so that it's see-through, which is really cool. Isabel Benson, that is my grandmother. Okay, so now I might want to go ahead, and I do. So let's just do that. Let me grab my little book where I do extras. This is very light, and so it's harder to edge. Okay. So there will be my first element. I'm going to use, I used both glue. I use different glues for the cluster parts. Now if I'm gluing down a paper that's thin-ish, whoa, Nelly. Then I will use my stick glue. That will hold great. Okay. And I like to come in a little bit. Oh, I didn't get that very well. Okay. From the side, because I think that gives a little bit of texture, added texture, adding the layers so that you can see the layers that you're putting on. I think that's kind of important. When layering, I like to see where they stop and start, new ones start, and they cross over. I think that's interesting. Okay, so now let's do another. Wonder what if we do a little bit of music paper. Doesn't have to be, okay, which side? Kind of like this side because it's got more writing on it, but I'm not sure that I want the music signatures in there. Let's get it closer to the words, I think. Okay, and let's go ahead and distress the edge of that as well. And here again, this is fairly thin paper, so I'm going to also glue this one with my glue stick. And I hope you're doing this, or that you're going to do this, that it's interesting for you and informative. I really do. And I have to tell you, you guys, I have not had energy for weeks because I've had a kind of a sinus thing going on, and I was really getting kind of bummed out because it's really cramping my style. Cancer's enough. Let's not throw in any extra little goobers. But, you know, as it happens, it happens, right? And so, but the last few days, I've just had so much more energy, and I'm just so excited to have some energy. It's like, yay! Okay, so we can use this, or I've also got this. This is an old curtain that you can see I've just been cutting and using, and I kind of love it. Let's see, let's just sort of grab a little bit. And you'd be surprised. Thrift stores, that type of thing, the things that are available for very reasonable costs that you can get to work with. Okay, so liking that. And I may even grunge that up just a little bit more because it looks cool, right? Now for this, I'm going to use my art glitter glue. And I'm going to just go in the general area that I'm going to be putting this down. And we'll just glue a bunch of that. Oh, you guys, I have to tell you, I have to share with you what my husband did. Oh my gosh. So, I love camping. And growing up, that was the entertainment that we, you know, that we had. I'm going to put this on, the one that we made together. And my husband has gotten to a point where he really doesn't enjoy. We had a camp trailer for a little while, and we did some camping in that, and it was fun, but it was a lot of work for him. And he wasn't all that excited about it. He really didn't want to do it anymore. We sold the trailer when we were going to go on a mission, right? Backtracking. And then the cancer came, and so that put a halt to a lot of things. But I still love camping. And so we came up with a compromise where we could go and maybe stay where they had cabins, that he didn't have to, you know, pack a whole bunch of stuff and set up a whole bunch of stuff. So we were going to do that. next week, actually. No, this week. It would have been today. It would have been today. But we canceled because I had just having no energy, like I shared with you before. And as it turns out, after my therapy yesterday, came home and he said, I got a surprise for dinner. I said, oh, okay. So I'm in here in my studio working, and then he came and he says, come. And he had purchased a fire pit and had it set up in the backyard, and had chairs and had little tables and had a fire going and had skewers and hot dogs so that we could have a camping meal. And that's the only time I ever eat a hot dog, but it has to be all beef, by the way. Has to be ballpark. And no, I don't want to know what's in it. But a burned hot dog over a campfire, with sweet pickle relish is just to die for. And he had that, and he had even he makes a great potato salad that's Weight Watcher friendly, and he had made that earlier in the day, and he said, I have such a keeper of a husband, I can't even begin to tell you. I love him so much. He's so good to me. I don't deserve it, but I'm just so grateful, Anyway, so that was just this wonderful surprise that, yeah, I just wanted to share that. Oh, okay, so you got the idea. And I think we'll call that good for today, my friends. I hope that this has been informative. I hope that you're going to make some. And I would love to see, if you want to, I'm going to put a post on Instagram and hashtag, let's see, what do we call it? Well, I'll put it on the Instagram. My brain, it's like gone again. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. I love you. I may sound silly, but I just appreciate all your prayers, and I pray for you, too. I know some of you are going through similar things that I am, and I wish I could, take all that away, but you're not alone, and, I love you, and I know the Lord loves you, and that, yeah. Okay, until next video, guys, have a fabulous day. Bye now.